This is a video trip report for kayaking the upper wind at 6.2 feet. One of my favorite rivers. It's a backyard run for me, so I get to do it a lot. And next weekend is the Upper Wind Whitewater Festival, where a lot of people are racing kayaks and rafts and hopefully even catarafts. I think there'll be a lot of people from out of town, so I thought it'd be fun to put a little video together showing some of the lines in a kayak. This is 6.2 feet. It probably won't be this level next week, but I'll share what I think are the conservative lines at this flow. I'm taking what I think are the easy conservative lines. There's definitely bigger lines everywhere, but these are my opinions about if you're a little tentative or nervous where to go. First of all, an initiation, it can be intimidating to some people. I just took the far right line, and you can see I was kind of in some bushes, and it's a little rocky over there sometimes, but it's a pretty straightforward line on the right. On the left, there is a line, but it's a little juicier and a rough start for some people, so it's good to start a little easy for me. I then take this little left channel you saw me just go to. There's also a right channel, and at lower water I go right, but I think a higher water left is the way to go. And then I cut down the left here. I try to get back right after this, but I got like kind of messed up there, so I stayed left. I think right's more conservative, but there is, you see I changed my mind right there. There is a line down here. A lot of people go into that hole right there on the left and swim. That's a place you can get beat down, side surfed. And so if you're going to hit that hole, hit it pretty straight. And then below here, there's some fun water. And people do struggle in initiation. It is a tough first rapid. And if you do, please don't let it get in your head. Like, it's common to have people struggle there. I struggle there a little bit. And just know it's one of the harder rapids. And it's nice to have this one. This is called Grandma's as another warm-up rapid. I think the conservative line is down the right side over here. You'll see right here I'm pretty far right. There are some shallow rocks around in this rapid you want to try to avoid. I think right's pretty easy. And then I'm going to cut back left and just kind of dodge some little hole things and some wave things and some whoop-de-doos and catch this eddy over here on the left. And I really like regrouping here. We're above Ramshorn. Ramshorn is a very long rapid, and so it's good for everybody just kind of getting a good mental space, give everybody a chance to rest and relax before doing Ramshorn. And Ramshorn is like 4 rapids back to back without space in between. And they each get gradually more difficult. This one's like maybe 2 plus 3, and then there's like a 3 plus, then there's like a 4 minus, and there's like a 4, kind of. Just like kind of builds the whole time. And my general beta I give people is when in doubt, go left. There's almost every line goes, but if you have a choice in front of you, usually the left line is a little bit easier. That doesn't mean go left the whole way, because down the left bank is not a good idea either. But if you're looking downstream and you have a choice between right and left, left is generally easier. You can see some flagging in the trees there. There used to be a wire in the river here, and there is a little bit of wood over there to signify that I guess the wood, but that flagging was for a wire that used to be in the river. So below here, you can see Connor in front of me. He's taking the right line. It's pretty juicy. I'm going to take the left line, which is harder to get to, but I'm going to say a little bit more conservative over here. I like this line. You kind of have to get back to the middle again. There is a little wave hole thing here that you want to avoid or just hit pretty straight. And below here, a lot of people just go right. It's fine. Again, I like to catch this eddy, regroup, make sure everybody's doing okay, have everybody kind of catch their breaths, relax before the bottom drop. And the bottom drop is generally considered the most difficult part, so it just builds until the very bottom. If you gut the middle of this bottom drop, you'll probably get, I don't know, you'll probably be fine, or maybe you'll get trashed a little bit. I like to stay far left. And you can see there was a far right line there. You go through the little hole. And I like to really hug the left. You can keep your face dry if you just hug the left. It's pretty straightforward. And more left than you think you should be. It's not that big of a deal. If you get in the middle, you can take a little trashing in there. And people do it all the time. And people flip in here a lot. And there's time to recover, so it's not a huge deal. And yeah, again, nice time to recover, celebrate. And that's sort of the crux. Once you've done initiation and Ramshorn, I would say those are the most difficult rapids. And now it's time for this rapid. Some people just call this more of Ramshorn. I call it the rapid after Ramshorn. If you have another name for this, I'd love to know what it is. It's just fun. You're just dodging holes. It's a good time. At this point, again, you're past the hardest rapid, so you can relax a little bit. And, well, not relax, but like you should feel confident at this point that the rest of it is a little easier. And in this rapid, the one thing to note is there is a sieve down here on the left at the bottom. It's way out of play. I've never seen a person paddle into it, but I have seen a cataraft Oh, I almost flipped there too. I've seen a cataract get pinned in there before, but if you didn't know it was there and you swam here, you wouldn't want to swim left because there's this civvy thing right there. This whole section there on the left in front of me behind that rock is kind of nasty. You wouldn't want to be in there. And yeah, and then there's a really nice eddy. I eddy out here on the right a lot. I'm passing it right now. Again, to regroup, celebrate how awesome we are. Today we're just kind of bombing down into the next one, which is balls to the wall right. And most people kayaking and rafting take this right line. In an oar boat, I go middle because on the right you can't use your oars. But kayaking, I like to go right. It's the conservative way. You can see one of our paddlers is taking this really cool left line. There's a left line over there that's really fascinating too. And the middle's interesting, but the right's conservative. You know, these walls can be a little intimidating. There's some weird holes and waves that are at an angle a little bit. Just take your time, stay off the wall, and it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, this bottom hole's a little trashy. And the higher flow is like 6, and I would call 6 like medium. I wouldn't even say it's high, it's just like medium. There's a ledge hole right here. I'm gonna kind of boofy boof, but you could get beat down in that hole. Like I've seen it suck people in and cause some problems. So you can just avoid it on the right or altogether. Below balls to the wall right is balls to the wall left, and instead of going right, we're gonna go left. There are lines over there on the right side that are really interesting, but the conservative line is down the left here. Just kind of waves and missing things, and you could get kind of thrown into that left wall. Beautiful waterfall on the right, you kind of see, but usually people are looking downstream and they miss the waterfall. And there's an eddy right there on the right. I like to regroup in sometimes. This is a pretty solid group. We're just bombing down, so we're just going to keep going into the next rapid called Morningwood. That's what I call it because when I was learning to cataract here, there used to be wood in the rapid, and we have to take tricky lines with rafts and catarafts. So that's what all the catarafters called it. If you have a different name for Morningwood, I'd love to hear it. That's just what I've always heard it called. And yeah, just kind of straightforward. And it sets you up well for this nice kind of continuous fun section. There's a couple little holes there, so you don't want to let your guard down. And now we're right above climax, which is, it's a tricky rapid. It's not straightforward. It's hard to boat scout. It's hard to see what's going on. So following somebody down is helpful. There's 3 lines, right, left, and middle. Middle, I think, is the most conservative. I kind of go over with some left angle to power off that little holy thingy that's there, whatever it's called, whatever it is. Not a big deal. And people do swim here, so it's nice to catch an eddy, slow down, and set safety in case that happens. And climax rolls right into the next one, which is wet spot. And these, again, I didn't name it. Like it's, if you have a different name for this rapid, I'd love to hear it. That's just what I've heard it called. And lots of lines here. It can catch up on people too. People forget it. They think they're done at climax, and they get to wet spot and they're like, oh, they don't pay attention. So especially on the right side here, there's kind of a nasty hole at some flows below me, and there's some weird rocks in the middle you could end up in. So this is sort of the last rapid in the crux of the run. And so the video started at mile 0.9, right above initiation. And right now we're about mile 2.2, 2.3. So all of the Crux Rapids are in this like 1.4 mile section. Below here, it's like basically class 3, really read and run. There's one really cool rapid, the playground, that just has a lot of fun things to play in. But it's generally just like a few miles of run out. But good surf waves, lots of rock spins, just a good old time. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed that. If you have anything to add, if you think maybe I missed some important detail, or you have better lines or different thoughts, or you want to tell me how bad my technique is. I'm not like a technique kayaker. I taught myself. So I've been given some tips, but like my technique is terrible. So if you want to give some technique tips, do that. But if you have anything to add, sweet. If not, the Wind Festival's next weekend. I look forward to seeing a lot of you there. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'm just gonna let the rest of the run out just sort of go and fast forward so you can see what the rest of the run is like.